Okay, I want to start by saying this. I'm not an influencer. I'm not media trained. I'm not PR. I'm just a nurse standing in a picket line who wants my voice and the voices of my colleagues to be heard. I'm here because we're left with no other option. The hospitals wanted this to happen. And despite what you may have heard, this strike is not about salary. When you see the headlines that say nurses make $163,000 a year and are demanding $200,000 a year or even $300,000 a year, I can give you a political answer and just dodge the question, but I'm not a politician. That $163,000 number comes from hospital management, from New York Presbyterian Hospital, specifically where I work. So already the credibility of that statistic is questionable. But even they admit that it includes overtime. Now ask them this: how much of that is mandatory overtime? They won't give you an answer, because even if we accept that number as true, it actually supports our grievance that nurses are overworked, burned out, and stretched to the absolute limit. And there's something else people need to understand. When hospitals put out these salary figures, they're not just talking about wages. They're including our healthcare benefits and our pension in those numbers. If someone asks you, how much do you make in a year? You don't include your cost of your healthcare benefits at work. You don't include your retirement benefits. No one does. But hospital executives are doing it in press releases to inflate the numbers, villainize nurses, and create the false narrative that we're only here for the money. Here's the reality. A brand new nurse, straight out of grad school, starts at around $120,000. Someone with 20 years of experience like myself is at about $135,000, $140,000. I get it. Those numbers create sticker shock for many Americans. But you have to understand, New York City is not just one of the most expensive cities in the country. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world. All New York City nurses are asking for is a livable wage that matches the city that we live in. And historically, salary is always the very first thing we are willing to compromise on. What we earn here is middle class. In fact, many nurses still come up short. Many of us work per diem jobs at other hospitals on our days off just to survive. And I know what some people are thinking. Well, why don't you just move out of New York? Oh gosh, this part is so frustrating. Let me stop you right there. This is our home. We trained here. We serve here. We save lives here. I am not running away from my community, my friends, and my family. I am going to be the change I want to see in my city. Because the fight isn't about salary. This fight is for healthcare workers to have healthcare so someone can take care of us when we're sick. It's about giving a pension so we can retire with dignity. It's about safe staffing so we can give the best of ourselves to our patients. Every person who comes into a hospital, more often than not, probably is going through the worst, scariest, and most trying moment of their life. And when that moment comes, we're the ones who walk in and say, I'm here for you. This is who we are. Not just some days, but every single day. There is no amount of monetary compensation that can truly pay for what we do in those moments. Because nursing is not a job, it is a calling. Every single day, we're exposed to disease, violence, and physical and emotional trauma. If anyone deserves healthcare, it should be the people who deliver it. If anyone deserves a pension to retire with dignity, it should be the people who give their lives helping others. New York City was the hardest hit city during COVID. We worked through fear, through exhaustion, through grief. We held phones so families could say goodbye. We used masks. We buried coworkers. We were called heroes. And now we're being treated like we're nothing. Our CEO, Steve Corwin, he made $14.6 million in 2023. In 2024, he received an 80% pay raise to the tune of $26.3 million. Look, I have no issue with a CEO being paid what a company thinks they're worth, but that money was made on our backs and at the risk of the safety of our patients. They refuse safe staffing grids because they want less nurses taking care of more patients. They want to gut our healthcare and pension and refuse to pay us a livable wage, also they can double their salaries every single year. Steve Corwin is on his way out. He's already secured his millions, and he likely pocketed even more in 2025. His replacement is Brian Donnelly. Brian Donnelly is only 50 years old. He likely has another 15 more years in his role. Hospital management made a calculated decision to let this strike happen. This is an opening move, a power grab to begin a new tenure. Nurses are represented by NYSNA, that's our union. Ancillary staff are represented by 1199, and their contract negotiations begins in a few months. If the nurses' resolve is broken here, 1199 could fall next. A management victory emboldens them everywhere. We've been trying to get a contract for months. Nurses came to the table every single time, but management lied, showed up hours late, or didn't show up at all. Make no mistake about it, this strike was orchestrated, planned, and wanted by the hospitals, not by us. Taking away our healthcare isn't an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's a deliberate escalation. Once workers lose something this big, history shows we rarely, if ever, get it back. And if they succeed here, they will come for our pensions next. Mayor Madani and Governor Hochul facilitated all three hospitals coming together to negotiate. NYP management arrived 6 hours late. They negotiated for less than 20 minutes. They are openly defying elected officials and acting as if public scrutiny doesn't matter. But this isn't confidence. It's a poker face. Because we know what's happening behind the scenes. We have coworkers and patients inside telling us the truth. Patients are suffering. But to management, this isn't a crisis, at least not yet. It's an investment. Burn a few $1,000,000 now. Risk the safety of patients. Force nurses to fold. Weaken the unions. Then reap billions in long-term power, control, and profit. That is the reality we're standing up to. Unfair labor practice complaints were filed weeks ago. The agency meant to intervene, the NLRB, has done nothing. Political leaders offer photo ops, speeches, and then go radio silent. And let's say the quiet part out loud. Nursing is a predominantly female profession. Caring labor has always been undervalued. Women who advocate for themselves are labeled as greedy, emotional, or unreasonable. Yet every day, these same women stand in freezing weather, singing, dancing, and showing up, not because this is fun, but because solidarity keeps fear from winning. This isn't a party, it's a battle cry. And every battle has a battle dance, because joy is how we survive. Music is how we stay human. Movement is how we turn uncertainty into strength. When you see us singing and dancing on the picket line, understand this. That's not a celebration. That's resistance. That's how working people have always prepared themselves to fight against kings. We dance not because this is easy. We dance because this is hard and refuse to let fear break us. So this is my message to America. Share our voices. Help Americans everywhere hear the truth. Call the political leaders of New York. Demand they pressure hospital management to negotiate and come to the table. Flood the phone lines of New York Presbyterian Hospital, Mount Sinai, and Montefiore. Tell them to give nurses a fair contract with healthcare, a pension, and safe staffing to save lives. Or better yet, come join us on the picket line. Sing with us, dance with us, yell and shout with us. Stand with us in the fight for the future of working class Americans. Because this fight isn't about money. It's about dignity. It's about safety. It's about justice. This is bigger than one contract. This is bigger than one hospital. This is bigger than one city. We are New Yorkers. We are the working class. We are you. Right now, 31,000 nurses in California and Hawaii have also given notice to strike next week. This is no longer just our fight. This is a fight for the soul of every working class American. This is about whether the people who keep hospitals running, cities alive, and communities safe are treated with dignity or sacrifice so executives can pad their paychecks. This is a fight we can win. This is a fight we will win. This is a fight we must win. The world is watching. The future is watching. History is watching. Who will you stand with? The decision is yours.